Yeah, welcome to today's class. In today's class, we'll be looking at the classification of living things. I encourage you that listen attentively very well. At the end of the class, if you have any question, you can drop at the comment section. And don't forget to actually share this so that all my students can actually will learn and more people can actually come to the what? To the page. So if you have viewed this on my Facebook page, I encourage you to what? If you have not liked the page, you have not followed the page, kindly go ahead and follow the page. And make sure you make a comment and share so that others can actually benefit. It's a free channel and it's a way of actually contributing my own knowledge as a passionate teacher with what? A legacy. And if it's on YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe and make sure what? You share to what? Others. God bless you. So today we want to look at classification of what? Living things. 5 kingdom that is Monera to what? Animalia, and also binomial nomenclature. Prepare for what? Online teaching. It's a live platform teaching. I'm Boluaji Ojajuni, the passionate teacher with what? A legacy. I say welcome. Now let's dive into the what? The topic. No, we are looking at the aspect of biology today, which has to do with the study of what? Life. Everything that biology actually deal with is what? Study of what? Life. And chemistry, that of what? Matter. And that energy is what? That of physics is what? Energy. But today we'll be looking at the aspect of classification. If you are just coming for the very first time, there are a lot that's what already prepared on the platform. You can go and check my page on probably the YouTube channel, you see more order. Today we are looking at classification of living things, like I said earlier on. And this one I want to look at the objective. That is, by the end of this class, my student that are watching right now must be able to understand what you're actually seeing on your screen right now. That it define classification and explains what it is important in biology. Identify and describe the 5 kingdom of what? Living thing, that is Monera, Protista, fungi, plantain, and what? Animalia. Then differentiate between prokaryotic and what? Eukaryotic cell with what? Example. Then explain the concept of what? Binomial nomenclature and state is what? Rules. Write scientific name, at least 3 organisms correctly. Then compare and contrast feature of what? The 5 kingdom in terms of cell types and what? Nutrition and example. Then demonstrate understanding through answering evaluation question and what? Assignment, in which will be seen at the end of this class. Now let's dive in. What is classification? Classification is the process of grouping organisms based on similarity and differences. Biology is a complex subject, and there are a lot of things that we deal with in biology. So for us to understand in a holistic way and understanding, a lot of scientists have tried to put some things in order so that they can group organisms that have a similar characteristics, that have a similar features, so that they can easily what? Be studied together instead of what? Doing that individually. So that is what bring about what? Classification. And you can see on your screen right now that is the process of grouping organisms based on similarity and differences. What are the importance for easy study of what? Organism? Show evolutionary relationship, that is the changes that occur in that particular trend of what? Organism. Then help in what? Identification. This is the major reason why there is what? Classification in biology. Then historical background. Aristotle early classified plant and what? Animal. You know, in biology we study life, and that life has to do with what? Plant and what? Animal. So you can see now that the first scientist that propounded this is what? Is not any other person than what? Aristotle. So Aristotle was the one that actually what? Do that. Then we have Carlos Linnaeus, father of what? Taxonomy. Then Robert Witt in 1969 proposed the 5 kingdom we are going to be what? Looking at today. What is taxonomy? Because we are probably, if you are hearing that one for the very first time, is the branch of biology that deal with identification, naming. Sorry for that. and classification of what? Living organisms into group based on their similarities and differences. Like I said earlier on, so that is what taxonomy. So the branch of science, which is branch of biology, that deal with what? The classification, the naming, and actually what? The rest. So the next on my slide now, we are looking at taxonomy proper. That is taxonomy. Examples of taxonomy that you will be seeing here now are what scientists have put together in order to make it very easy. I've told you earlier on that what it deal with what? Identification, naming, and classification of living organisms into what? Groups based on their similarities. And this is what we are saying. Taxonomy of what? Human beings. The first we have in this group is what? Kingdom. And that is what? Animalia. Now, talking about animalia, it has to do with what? Animal. That is, we human beings, we are also what? An animal. But the difference between we and other animals is because of we are and what? Higher animal. And the second column is what? Chordata. Then we have class Mammalia. Also, there are some group of animals that fall into this category that we call what? Mammalia. Then we have what? Primates. Then we have Hominidia. Then we have Homo, that is James Homo. Then species we have what? Sapiens. We human beings we also what? Homo sapiens. Scientific name of Homo is what? Homo sapiens. So that is how they combine all these things in what? In naming them. So that's what that is examples of what? That taxonomy that we actually discussed. Then the next one is what? Function of taxonomy. Identification. Finding out what an organism what is. And the funniest part about this is what is generally what accepted what all over the world. That's the first function of it what? Identification. The next one is what? Nomenclature. Giving scientific name using what? Binomial nomenclature. That is, we give them scientific name based on this or these strategies and what rules that what we use. Then classification group organism to what? Hierarchy and what? Category. If we look at it here, the first one is what? Kingdom is the largest of its kind. When we're talking about this human being taxonomy, kingdom is the largest. And this chordata is the third. So as a result of this arrangement now, it puts them into their what? Into their hierarchy of what? Category. And the next way we need to be looking at here is we have the 5 kingdoms. Like I said, we are going to be looking at these 5 kingdoms. I just use that one to explain what is meant by what taxonomy. So the one we'll be looking at was the 5 kingdoms we have. And the 5 kingdoms we have, which is actually provided by the scientists that you can see. You can take the video back so that you can see that the first one is what? Monera. Excuse me. And the second one is what? Protista. Then we have what? Fungi. Then we have plantain. Then we have what? Animalia. These are the major 5 kingdoms that we have in classification. Then let's pick them one after the other. Kingdom Monera, unicellular prokaryotic. That is the characteristic. That is what they have what in common. They are what? Unicellular organisms. What is unicellular organism? Those are the living that have one single cell. You know, we have single cell and what? We have unicellular and what? Multicellular organism. Then we have what? Microscopic. That is, they are microscopic in nature. They can't be seen with our physical eyes. That is what that means. Then they reproduce by what? Binary fission. When we are talking about reproduction, most of the animal undergo what we call what? The reproduction of, for example, now let's take that of man as an example. There is a union of what? Male and female gamete in order to reproduce. That's why the husband and wife have to come together. There is what? The union of male and female gamete. But there's some organism that what? They reproduce by themselves. And such animal are what we call what? They undergo what is called binary fission. That is what we call what? Binary fission. That is, they don't require 2 organisms. They don't require the male and female gamete in order for them to what? To reproduce. And what is the mode of their what? Nutrition? They are autotrophic and what? Heterotrophic. They undergo the two. Some of them are autotroph, while some are what? Heterotroph. What do you mean by autotroph? They are the plants that manufacture their own kind of food by themselves. And most plants are actually what? Autotroph. Then we have some of them that are what? Heterotroph. Heterotroph are those animals that depend directly or indirectly on already made food for them to be able to want to feed. Example, we human beings are what? Heterotroph. Whether we like it or not, whether you believe it or not, I want you to believe it, and that is the truth. We depend 100% on plant. Whether we are eating plant directly like vegetable, or you are eating rice, or you are eating beans, they are products from what? Plant. That is what we mean by what? Heterotroph. We cannot produce our own by ourselves. We can only process it. But naturally, they are being produced by what? Plant. And examples of such is what? Coil and what? Nostoc. So, like I said earlier on, prokaryotic. What is prokaryotic? Is a type of cell that lack a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelle. That is what I mean by what? Prokaryotic cell. And kingdom Monera, they are part of what? Prokaryotic cell. So that is what that is that. The next one is protista. Protista, they are mostly what? Unicellular, like I said earlier on. Then they are what? Eukaryotic. They are aquatic, nutrition, autotrophs like algae, and heterotroph like what? Protozoa. Those are the examples that what? Produce their own kind of food. Algae produce their own kind of food. And protozoa is what? It depends on the ready-made food. Example is what? Amoeba, paramecium, and what? Euglena. Then, what do you mean by eukaryotic? It's a type of cell that has a true nucleus and a brace-bound organelle. You can see the difference between the two. The next one is kingdom fungi. Multicellular except yeast. They are multicellular organisms except yeast. And they are also what? Heterotrophic in nature, saprophytic, and what? Parasitic. What is parasitic? When we say an animal is a parasite, those are the animals that live in another organism, which is referred to as their host, and they feed on that animal, and they still what? Cause damages to what? To that. And saprophytic, they feed on dead, decay plant. Animals that have actually died, that is the kind of thing that what? They feed on by what? Absorbing their nutrient from that. Then we have reproduce by what? Spore. So they reproduce by what we call what? Spore. Then example is what? Mushroom, yeast, and what? Rhizopods. So that is what? The kingdom fungi. The next one is what? Kingdom plantae. They are multicellular organisms. They are also what? Eukaryotic. They are also what? Autotrophic. That is photosynthesis. They carry out photosynthesis in order to produce their own kind of what? Food. And what is photosynthesis? It's a process whereby what? Green plant manufacture their own kind of food through the use of what? Sunlight. And the presence of what? Chlorophyll. So that is what that is that. Then cell wall of what? Cellulose. That is, they have that. Example is what? Moss, sperm, mango, and what? Maize. So those are examples of what? The plant, the kingdom plantae. Sorry for that. Then the next one is what? Kingdom animalia. They are multicellular, eukaryotic, heterotrophic, no cell wall. Example is what? Man, dog, bird, and what? Insect. So they are what? Animalia. I said it earlier on. Man, animalia, dog, and animalia, bird, insect. We look at dog very well and man. There are some features that come out. That is, we all have ears on our body. We breastfeed our young ones. So you can see that now. So those are those things that what normally have in common. And that is the purpose of that what grouping. Sorry for that. And the next one is what? Comparison of 5 kingdoms. Monera, they are prokaryotic, auto-heterotroph. Protist, eukaryotic, auto-heterotroph. Example is what? Amoeba. Fungi, eukaryotic, heterotrophic. Example is mushroom. So you can see that now. This is the comparison of actually what we have discussed all earlier on in a very simple form. So that is that. Then we have binomial nomenclature. That is introduced by Linnaeus. These are the rules that we use, like I said earlier on, in what actually what naming organism. You can see that Homo sapiens, that is italicized or underlined if and written. Example is what? Homo sapiens. You can see the first H here was what? Capital letter, and the sapien is what? Small letter. These are the rules used by what? By these are rules that use in what? In group, in naming them. In naming them. So that is what? That is that. And the next one now is what? Importance of what? Binomial nomenclature. Provide universal name. It is generally accepted, like I said earlier on. Another one is what? Avoid confusion. Yes, there will not be confusion. Once you hear primate, you know the kind of animal. That is an example of primate. You know what they are talking about. Animalia. You know the kind of what they actually want talking about. Then show relationship. And this show the relationship between what? Organism and what? Other animal. Then accepted worldwide. I said it earlier on. They are generally accepted worldwide. And the next one is what? The summary. Classification group organism, 5 kingdoms, they are Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantain, and what? Animalia. Then Banana will give us scientific name. So at the end, you should be able to understand this by now. So if you actually find value in this video, don't forget to share, make a comment, then we can what? Know how to what? Improve in the area you have noticed that. Thank you. And the next question is what? Question and answer. Don't forget to answer this question in the comment section. And if you want a what? Personal teacher that will be teaching you physics, chemistry, or biology, I'm always what? Available. Answer this question in the comment section. And also take home assignment, prepare a chart of 5 kingdoms with example. Write 5 scientific name of plant and animal around you. Don't give me the one that I've done here. Think of other one outside what? The one I've given here. So that is what that is that. Prokaryotic cell. These are their characteristics, like I said earlier on. So you can see that now. These are what they have what in common. No true nucleus, the nuclear region. That is DNA in the nuclear region. No membrane-bound organisms, we have said this earlier on. They reproduce by what? Asexual by binary fission. Example is bacteria and cyanobacteria. Then we have this one also eukaryotic. These are their what? Characteristics. And you can see them now on your screen. So that is what that is. An example is what? Plant, animal, fungi, and what? Protist. So that is all we will be discussed. And these are the summary of the two in a very simple format. I believe you find value in this video. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to share so that what? Others can actually what? Learn. God bless you till we see in the next class. Don't forget to comment, share, and drop what? A comment. Bye for now. Thank you.